In this video, I reveal to you an easy to execute strategy that I've used to help my building, contractor, remodeling and renovation clients around the world generate 100 plus leads per month. The best part is I'm going to allow you to look over my shoulder and we're going to go through everything step by step. Hello and welcome. My name's Bren and I'm super excited for today's video because it's all about strategy and I love strategy. With all the people that I work with around the world and mostly within the building, contracting, etc. businesses, they all focus around tactics and ideas and they have no fundamental strategy guiding their whole process of marketing. This video is going to fix all that for you, specifically in relation to digital marketing. So without any further conversation, let's jump over to my computer and we'll start to go through today's video. So here we are back at my computer, and as I always say, the proof's in the pudding. So what I have here is a client that I've been working with for a couple of years, and we've generated well over 150 leads in the month of January. We can see here 2019, January 1 to 30 to 31. We've generated 92 phone calls, over 60 form completions, etc. So it's just a fantastic way for you to get an understanding that this strategy works and that you should sit through the whole video and get a very good understanding of how everything is pieced together so you can piece it together for your business. So let's get stuck straight into the strategy. Here it is, the simple strategy. It's not overly complicated as you might agree with, and it's very, very easy to execute. So there's going to be kind of two halves to this video. First off, I'm going to go through the strategy and how it all fits together. Then in the second half of the video, I'm going to go through each step of the strategy and show you some golden nuggets on how you can best execute them and get the best from each portion or each segment of the strategy. So first off, we have up the top here the traffic channels. Now, typically speaking, I only use 3 traffic channels for builders, contractors, remodeling and renovation businesses alike because simply I don't need to use any more, and you'll probably fit into this boat as well. There are just a handful of clients that I do use, a couple of others, some more social media and some media buying kind of aspects. But fundamentally, the 3 major traffic sources are Google Adwords, Facebook ads, and search engine optimization. So with Google Adwords, most people that I speak to are kind of hesitant about it because they're paying per visitor. But no matter what you do, you're kind of paying per visitor. You're investing time, monetary resources, so you can still work it out as a cost per visitor or time per visitor in terms of the resources invested. Google AdWords, you have fantastic control, probably the most control. It yields fantastic results because the intent's there, that these people are actively searching for your services. You can control the ads and the landing pages they go to as well. So Google AdWords, I'm a huge fan. Moving across to Facebook ads, I love Facebook ads because barely any builders, contractors, etc. that I've come across around the world, they don't know how to use it properly. There's fantastic capabilities within Facebook ads that are built to make you money, to generate you leads. And Facebook have made a fantastic platform that it's single-handedly built to make you money. And why it's useful for you is because none of your competitors are using it, and if they aren't using it properly. But in this video, I'm going to show you how to use it properly. Coming across to probably the favorite of clients, especially search engine optimization. Now, they love search engine optimization because it's kind of got that perception of being free, but it's not free because generally you're paying a search engine optimization consultant to do the work. So it can still be broken down to a cost per visitor basis, based upon organic traffic divided by the amount of monetary resources invested. So, but nonetheless, search engine optimization is a fantastic resource. It works fantastically well, and it's something definitely you should be focusing upon. Coming down to here, we have your website. Websites like salespeople or athletes. You get good salespeople, you get good athletes, you get bad athletes, you get bad salespeople. The other aspect to salespeople and athletes is that they can undertake training and become better. They become better at closing deals, or they become better athletes in their chosen sport. Websites are the exact same. You get good websites and you get bad websites, and websites can be improved. They can be tested and optimized through A/B split testing, data analysis, etc. So later in the video, I'm going to reveal to you aspects that you need to be including, testing, and optimizing on your website to get the most persuasive power into your website. Because at the end of the day, he or she who has the highest conversion rate in digital marketing wins, because they can afford to pay the most per visitor, and they will have the most profitability around their website. So your website is extremely important. The reason why your website's so important is because he or she who can have the highest conversion rate in their geographical area or industry wins the digital marketing war. Now, the math behind it is very, very easy, because if everyone in your industry or geographical kind of competitive area is paying $1 per visitor, hypothetically, 100 visitors cost $100. Now, typically speaking, most competitors have an eerily similar conversion rate. And let's hypothetically say it's 2%. So for 100 visitors, 2% conversion rate, you're getting 2 inquiries. Now, if you were to double your conversion rate, which is very simple to do when you understand the key aspects and key persuasion factors of a website and how you can optimize them and make them better on your website, doubling your conversion rate is actually quite simple. So if you were to go from 2% to 4%, it has a dramatic effect on your business, because now instead of getting 2 leads per 100 visits, you're getting 4. The cost goes from $50 down to $25 per lead. And now you're interacting with more prospects, you're closing more deals, and you're getting more referrals. Further to that, as your industry or competitive geographical area becomes more competitive, the price of a visitor is going to go up, be it search engine optimization, Facebook ads, or Google Adwords, or any other kind of traffic channel. So with that, you can cover the costs of those increased cost per visitors, because your conversion rate is higher than your competitors. They will be sitting around going, this is ridiculous, I can't afford to pay this. With your business model and your website, you're thinking, oh, this is not too bad at all. The cost has gone up, but my cost per lead hasn't gone up in proportion to the cost per click or the cost per visitor, because you're always working on the key aspects of your website, working to improve. So that's the reason why your website is so important. It acts as a salesperson. Send the salesperson away to get some fantastic sales training. They come back, they close more deals in the relative number to the leads that they are given per month. So it's very, very important that you focus on your website. Okay, as we come down after the website, we have 2 actions that are typically performed on your website as a builder, contractor, etc. Now, the ideal outcome is you generate a lead. Fantastic, we've got a new prospect. The less desired outcome is no lead. Let's talk about when people become a lead. Now, when they become a lead, you probably have at least a phone consultation or an in-house consultation. Now, before that event happens, you can start to implement remarketing tactics. These are those ads that follow you around. You visited a website such as an airline, etc. Now you're starting to see ads on Facebook or on other websites about that particular airline or e-commerce website, etc. Now, if they become a lead, and it might take a week for you to schedule an in-house consultation, you can start to show these people ads about before and after images around completed projects. You can start to show them case studies and testimonials about completed projects. The reason why this is powerful, it's a persuasive event before the actual persuasive event occurs. So it's kind of like an introduction to a blind first date. I like to use dating analogies when I'm teaching marketing, because we can all relate to them, and it's also a bit of fun because sometimes they're politically incorrect. So within the dating world, so let's hypothetically say you're going on a blind date and one of your friends is organizing this blind date. If they say, hey, let's meet my friend, I want you to meet my friend Jane. How about I introduce you catch up on Thursday night for dinner? You might be sitting back going, Jane could be crazy. Jane might be fantastic. We have no idea who Jane is. You probably don't want to go on the blind date because we have no idea who Jane is. Now, if your friend is to introduce Jane in a very, very quick but a little bit more detailed and persuasive way, such as, how about you catch up a friend of mine, Jane. She's fantastic. She's an orthopedic surgeon. She used to be an ex-supermodel, was starting to get down to the lines of, Jane's pretty nice. She sounds, she's got a good job. She's probably physically somewhat attractive, we could say. And she becomes a more kind of desirable kind of companion, perhaps. Now, the blind date is probably a much more enjoyable experience. And this is happening before the actual experience occurs. Now, when you rock up to the blind date, you're going to be more invested in the blind date, more enthusiastic, because the potential companion is more desirable. You're willing to put in a bit more effort, have a much better attitude towards the whole experience itself. The same goes with the remarketing. Once you start showing people testimonials, before and afters, completed jobs, etc., before you have the in-house consultation, they're going to be pre-persuaded before that event occurs. It's very, very important. And I'm going to talk about this in further detail a little bit later on. Now, if we jump over to what happens with the less desirable no lead actions, so several things can happen. So just off the website, we can have an exit pop-up. People hate exit pop-ups, but they work. And I'm going to talk about them later. We have email automation sequences that help build relationships, just like remarketing, but in a much more controlled and detailed manner. Coming down, we also have remarketing ads and retargeting ads within the Google ad platform and the Facebook ad platform. We can show them before and after testimonials. We can start to give them guides such as the 7 biggest pitfalls to building your new home, or the 7 biggest pitfalls to renovating your kitchen or remodeling your kitchen, etc. No matter what industry or no matter where you fit as a contractor, this video will help you think about the kind of ads and guides you can create and email automation sequences. So now that we've got a really good overview of how the strategy works, it flows through the website, no lead becomes a lead, etc. Let's jump into each individual segment of this strategy in further detail and show you how you can execute them properly for your business. So first up, we have Google AdWords. Now, I love Google AdWords because it has that behavioral intent. People are searching for what you're offering, therefore they have some interest in it. So they're far easier to convert into a lead. Now, some of the aspects that I see constantly wrong with Google AdWords is account structure. Now, I've done a video on account structure and how to set up your Google AdWords whole accounts and a strategy within your Google AdWords platform. And I highly recommend watching that. I've also got another video where I go through step by step, literally from start to finish, click every button, talk you through every click, every button pushed, on how to set up campaigns for builders, contractors, etc. I highly recommend watching those 2 videos. Other key aspects are, it's very, very important to have conversion tracking set up. You can track both phone calls and form completions within Google AdWords. So you get a very, very good idea of the return on investment that your Google AdWords marketing is providing for you and your business. The other aspect is keyword selection. Vitally important with keyword selection is keyword match types. Again, I have a video in my video list regarding keyword match types. I've seen, I shouldn't laugh, but I've seen plenty of errors around the wrong keyword match type selection. People using broad match when they should not be using broad match. They can use modified broad match, phrase match, exact match. If you're not sure about the match types, I highly recommend watching that video as well. The keyword selection or keyword research is vitally important because it dictates the intent of the person coming in, and you want to match that intent with the right ads and the right landing pages on your website. So that cannot be underestimated. Now, the importance of ads, people really underestimate the ads for Google AdWords. They think, well, you don't get much space, you don't get much text, therefore I don't have to put much effort into them. Well, we've loosely already spoken about this in terms of the introduction to our hypothetical blind date person, Jane. Now, the first introduction is not all that desirable. We don't know if Jane's a good person or a bad person. The second, depending on who you are, she might be very desirable. Ex-supermodel, doctor, etc. They're much kind of more desirable prospect for the majority of people. So just with just a few more lines, Jane becomes much more desirable. And it's the same with these Google ads. Spend some time. Don't talk about features, talk about benefits. Talk about the emotional appeal. The emotional appeal works infinitely better than just talking about we have been in business for 25 years, etc. People don't really care. They care about what you can do for them and how you can meet and supersede the emotional desires that they have around the product and service that you offer. As we come down, there's ongoing optimization. There's RLSA, which is remarketing lists for search ads. This is something that you definitely should be looking into, because bathroom, kitchens, new homes, custom homes, etc. It's not an overnight decision. They want to talk about it with their spouse. It could take weeks to months of research before they decide to work with a builder or a contractor. So RLSA can help bridge that gap in terms of the multiple dates. So asking for marriage on a first date is mad, even if you find the second introduction to Jane highly desirable. It's still mad. She's probably not going to be happy. And if she asks to marry you, you're probably not going to be happy either, because it's a first date. But as you get along to second, third date, it becomes still probably a bit crazy, but less crazy, and you probably got a higher chance of getting married. RLSA allows you to get your ads higher in the pecking order when you've already interacted with someone in the past. It's very, very important, because you've already started to build that relationship. You already had the first date. You've already built rapport. They already understand you. They may have already done the research. Now you pop back up. You look like you're bigger. You look like you're a better building business or a contracting business. Therefore, you're probably more desirable to them. We don't really understand why psychologically it works. That's my kind of idea why it works. But the numbers just support it, that the more you interact with people, the higher the conversion rates go up. So RLSA, huge fan. Device bidding. Now, your website might be optimized for mobile. It might not be optimized for mobile. It might be only optimized for some devices, such as you might only be optimized for Android. You might not be optimized for iOS and Apple devices. Same as tablets. You can check the conversion rates of those devices on your website, and you might increase bidding for mobile because you do well with mobile, and lower it for desktop because for whatever reason people don't convert as well with desktop on your website. So device bidding is very important. Landing page optimization, we'll talk about that when we get to the website as the salesperson or athlete. And the last point, I have a video in the description where I go through a full build process, as I mentioned at the start of this PowerPoint slide, of me building an entire Google Adwords campaign for a builder, contractor, etc. I highly recommend that video. Now, Facebook's probably the scariest for business owners, because they're worried about, I've got to post content all the time. Now, you don't have to post content as often as you think. Once a week is more than fine. Even bi-weekly can be very, very good as well. Now, the problem is they don't have a strategy on the types of content. Now, there's video content, there's static ads, there's carousel ads, there's message ads, etc. Now, the types of content, before and after photos, job progress photos, you've got finished job photos, you've got testimonials, you've got case studies, you've got educational. So you could be a bathroom renovator and you can talk about how to clean the grout between tiles, etc. People want to know this stuff, and it's helpful. It positions you as an authority within your industry, in your geographical area, and it also shows that you're helpful and people can build rapport with you and your personality of you and your business. So once you understand the types of content, you want to start to think about, okay, before and afters I can do, yes, completed jobs I can do, testimonials I can do, videos I can do. Then you start to say, well, this is how I'm going to do them, and then it becomes automatic in terms of how you recognize the opportunities to produce that content. It's not very difficult to take pictures. It can be done on a phone. I don't recommend it, but it can be done. I've got clients that do it all the time on a phone, and it works fantastically well. You don't need a professional photographer. Though I will say as a caveat, the people that do get professional photography, especially with completed jobs, they do get a better response in terms of conversion rate on the website and response to their Facebook ads and posts. So I do recommend investing a little bit in professional photography if that fits in within the financial constraints you have within your business. Now, as we move down to custom audiences, lookalike audiences, and video ads, this is where people don't understand how they can leverage Facebook the best. So custom audiences, I'll talk about one strategy for custom audiences. You can grab all the leads that have ever interacted with your business and give them to Facebook. They analyze the psychographics, behaviors, and demographics of those people. And then they analyze all the people within your geographical area and find the people that are currently in the market for what you have to offer based on the prospects that have interacted with you, as I mentioned, the psychographic, demographics, and behaviors. Hugely powerful because this is a modeled audience. It's actually called a lookalike audience. Technically, that's the actual name. It doesn't sound too sophisticated because to create it, it's not sophisticated, it's not complicated. Now, this works really well because Facebook are modeling on the deeper level targeting that you and I cannot see. So it works fantastically well. Now, as we get to lookalike audiences, you can create multiple different types of lookalike audiences. You can create lookalike audiences based on the top 25% of the people that spent the most time on your website. Again, the prospective leads that have ever interacted with your business. People that watch 75% or more of the videos that you post on YouTube. These things are based on behavior. Behavior is king. Words are cheap, and there's just no argument with that. If you base things on what people do as opposed to what people say, we all know that people lie all the time, but the behavior is typically always true. So these lookalike audiences that I'm talking about based on behavior yield fantastic results. Video ads. Now, I loosely just spoke about video ads, but video ads work fantastically well because they build rapport, they build relationship. You can convey, just like I am now, fantastic messages, ideas, educational tips, and product offerings, demonstrations, etc. And to further build on with that, you can then get all the people that watch 50%, 75%, or 95% or more of that watch 95% or more of your videos and put them into a group. And then you can start to show more ads to those people, taking them on first dates, second date, third dates, etc. Building that rapport, building those relationships, giving them special offers around consultations or products, etc. or special deals based upon interest-free periods or finance options or whatever it is with you in your contracting, building business, etc. This works amazingly well. You can build lookalike audiences based off that as well. It's a way to scale your Facebook marketing efforts. So I'm a huge fan of Facebook because people just don't know how to use it. And that's something that you can leverage because it's so cheap for builders at the moment, contractors at the moment, because your competitors don't know how to use it properly. So I highly recommend investing good time in Facebook ads. Search engine optimization is often broken down into two segments. Technical search engine optimization, which is its site structure, content optimization, and search engine optimization elements. This takes some skill. People underestimate technical and on-page search engine optimization. It is far more complicated than most people give it credit, in my opinion, especially when you're in competitive industries. So if you're a nationwide builder, contractor, etc., or you're in a very large geographical city where there's a lot of competition, yes, the technical aspects are far more complicated for you than if you're in just a city of 100,000 or less. There's typically less competition there. Link building is still fundamentally probably the core driver of search engine rankings, still to this day, and it has been for well over 10 years now. Now, link building is just getting links from relevant websites pointing back to yours. It acts like a voting system. No matter, typically in most countries, they have a voting system for Prime Minister or the President, and it's just the same. He or she who gets the most votes becomes the Prime Minister or the President of that country. So he or she who has the most links coming from relevant websites pointing back to theirs typically will move up. There are some caveats to that not all links are equal. So a link from NASA, as an example, is not relevant, but it has huge authority, huge power, is much stronger than a link from a cupcake blog that only gets 10 to 20 visitors per month. So there are different powers to the links that you will get to your website. So definitely search engine optimization is fantastic, but it's not an overnight process such as Facebook and Google AdWords. So if you are looking to drive quick leads, Google AdWords, Facebook ads are fantastic. Search engine optimization is definitely a long haul game that works fantastically well, but it can take anywhere from 30 days, which is a fantastic and quick. It doesn't happen usually that often, up to 3 to 6 months. So depending upon where you are in your business model, this traffic source might be something you undertake right away because you've got that time in hand to be able to build it with the financial and time resources to dedicate to search engine optimization. If that's not the case, definitely go after Google AdWords and Facebook ads. So as we move on to your website, one of my favorite aspects, these are some of the areas where people get wrong. No value proposition. Within your competitors or geographical area, the competitors in your geographic area, why should your prospects choose you as opposed to your competitors? What key aspect or what key aspects is there why they should choose you? You need to answer this question. It helps differentiate you. It helps you give more perceived value to you and your services. It's hugely important. You need to spend time in and around this. Remember, it's about the prospect and not about you. So I mentioned before, it's not about, we have won this award, we do this, we do that, we've been in business for 25 years, 100 years. That people don't care. It's about what can you do for them. When you're looking for products for yourself, you're worried about what can this do for me. You need to answer this question for your prospect. You need to talk to your prospect about this. You're not talking to people collectively on your website. You're actually talking to one individual, because people read the website not as a group but as individuals. So talk about them as in you. Use the word you. When you work with us, we give you a 3D design of your bathroom. You get to design every aspect. So use that kind of phraseology, that kind of structure to your writing. It'll work enormously better. You'll convert more visitors into prospects. Remember to use benefits, not features, and also you use emotion. We are all driven by emotion with everything that we purchase. Then we justify the purchase based on rationality and features and benefits after the fact, usually to a spouse or to a business partner, etc. But everything is hugely driven on emotion. What are the emotional appeals and triggers that your product and services provide? You need to be answering these and talking about it. Very, very important. Proof is something that is always forgotten about on websites. People don't talk about the licenses, qualifications that they have. But the prospects are interested. Most builders, contractors, etc. take for granted, I've got my builder's license, I've got my qualifications, etc. I know I've got them, so therefore my prospects should know that I've got them. No, that's not the case. You need to talk about them. If you've got more than your competitors, again, this is a huge advantage that you have. Again, there's testimonies, before and after pictures, associations that you're members of. All this builds this well-rounded argument of why you're very good at what you do, and it helps back up the claims that you're making and the features and benefits and the emotional appeals that you're offering. It helps back those up. Again, this is one of the funny ones, because I often see that, or I often hear from my clients that XYZ competitors doing this, we should do it. So you often find that all competitors, whether builders, contractors, it doesn't matter. They all have the same kind of call to action, and it kind of makes no sense to get a free in-house consultation. Everyone's offering the free housing consultation. There's no real benefit. But what people underestimate is this is a transaction. So it might not be monetary because it's free, but I'm going to give you my time as a prospect. What am I going to get from it? Are you going to be a sleazy, slimy, snake oil size person? Or am I going to get some benefit out of this? So when you have your forms, a free in-house consultation, you get a free 3D design of your new custom home or bathroom, kitchen, etc. We sit down and talk about all the practical and aesthetic elements of your kitchen, bathroom, custom home. We talk about how you can budget and stick to a budget, how you can get the appliances, accessories of your house, a new home, kitchen, bathroom, etc. At 20% off. once you start to put this in your call to actions or whatever fits your business in terms of the value of your consultations, once you put this power into your call to actions, you drastically improve the response and the number of prospects you get relative to the number of visitors. So you don't always need more visitors to get more leads. You can improve the salesperson, improve the website. It is a much more profitable and quicker way to generate more leads. Now here we are to exit pop-ups. Everybody hates them, but everyone loves what they do for their business because they allow you, when done right, to answer key questions for the prospects and get them into your marketing funnel, your email automation sequences that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. Now, exit pop-ups, I love them because they're only triggered when someone's exiting, so they're not really aggressive. They're not just popping up in your face. And it allows you to capture people that you would never have captured. They would have just clicked the back button. It works fantastically well because then it gets them into a very controlled marketing automation sequence that, once set up, is a fantastic asset that just works every day, day in, day out. So what happens is someone goes to leave your website and it's like you actually give them an exit pop-up. It could be the 7 biggest pitfalls to renovating your kitchen. Learn how to get your appliances at 20% off and learn about the current trends in design and appliances in kitchen renovation. You get that little guide. Now you can start to stagger emails to them every second day for the foreseeable future. Builds rapport, builds proof, credibility, shows off the work that you do. Just works amazingly well. And these are prospects that you would never have gotten. So I'm definitely a huge fan of exit pop-ups. Offer something of value, something offering information that helps the prospect answer questions that they have in their minds. These are questions you already know because you're getting them over the phone, you're getting them via email. You simply just need to answer the common questions, create a little guide around it, and pitch it as an exit pop-up, and then have email automation sequences after that. This works amazingly well. Now, as we get to email automation, this is what can really bring everything together because it allows you to nurture the prospects into more qualified leads and they become easier to close. So with your remarketing ads, retargeting ads, your exit pop-ups, etc. So I like to do a six-step email series for contractors and slightly longer for home builders, etc., because it's usually a longer process as opposed to contractors around bathroom, kitchens, etc. So a typical six-step email series, the first 3 emails are about teaching, education, and positioning you and your business. And it could be tips around budgets, design elements, practical advice, things of that nature. The next 3 are typically about providing proof and presenting an offer, testimonials, awards, before and after pictures. The call to action is typically a consultation that offers value, as I mentioned in the previous slide. So with these 3 emails, it's important because now we're building the proof that we are good at what we do. So again, testimonials, awards, before and after pictures, etc. These all work and help you build that argument that you are very good at what you do. Again, this is because now we've had a couple of dates with this prospect, we can ask for more, we can start to ask for marriage. Talk about the consultation, what happens in it. This could be the 6th or 7th email. Hey, get a free in-house consultation, we come in and we talk about this, we do this, etc. This can be made longer, as I mentioned, with homes, definitely longer. It's a much more longer process. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned I send an email every second day for this 6. With homes, I send an email, the first 6 is every second day, and then it becomes every 4 days and then once a week. And it can be up to 6 months long because that's just how long people can take to make a decision around building a new home and picking a contractor or builder around that kind of process. Now, the last step, but certainly not least, is remarketing or retargeting, as they call it in the Google world. Now, these are the advertisements that follow you around. You visit a website, now you're seeing ads for that particular business on Facebook or on other websites through the GDN or the Google Display Network. The return on investment is exceptional. It is probably the closest thing other than email that gives you a license to print money. It works that well. It's easy to set up. Even when someone's become a lead, I mentioned to you that you should be remarketing to them, because it's that persuasive nature or events that you can engineer that happens before the actual core persuasive event, being the consultation or phone call that you have with them. And of course, this is something you need to be doing when someone doesn't become a lead. There's a whole host of different types of remarketing, retargeting ads. You can talk about finished project, before and after images, with videos as well. You can use progress videos, testimonial videos and images. You can have text accompanying the images. You can also have ads that show off your awards as well. Again, this is all about showing people that you are very good at what you do, you're qualified to do what you do, and you do very good work that fits in line with what they want. So remarketing is definitely something you should be focusing on, because it works just amazingly well. We've got to the end. This is the end of the strategy, and this is something that I really hope that you implement yourself. If you have any questions, go down to the comment section in the YouTube comment section and post your questions, your comments. I answer everyone myself. I give detailed answers. Sometimes I make videos dedicated to your questions, as I have done many times before. Subscribe to the channel if you've liked what I've presented, because these videos are free. People typically love them. I don't get much negative feedback, so subscribe. I release 1 to 3 videos per week, and they're all about just helping you. I'm not trying to sell anything. I do offer a free consultation. If you come to my website that I have here at brenhamel.com, slide down to the bottom, click this, how may I contact Bren? I do have typically a couple of time slots per month. There's no selling, there's no pressure in these conversations. It's all dedicated to you. You dictate what happens in these conversations. They literally range from 10 minutes to up to 90 minutes at times. I enjoy them, I think, more than what you guys do, because I learn just as much from you as you hopefully learn from me. It's always fantastic talking to new people around the world and what they get up to, what's worked for them, what hasn't worked for them, etc. And typically what happens in them is that I go through their Google Adwords campaigns, I go through their analytics, and I offer practical advice that you can go off and use yourself. So there's certainly no pressure, there's no obligation. And yeah, the discussion is just completely focused around your business and your marketing. So if you want to do that, come here, fill out this form, and we can schedule a time, and we'll have a good time having a really good conversation. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to presenting the next video to you. So stick around, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.